Hi there! Welcome to Apple World Getting Back with Puffy. In a little manner, take a gander at look it from the beginning. I could have done without him at all. You realize I didn't. I thought he was my yuck. I could have done without him since I seen and I were totally different that way. Jennifer Lopez might have considered reuniting with Diddy entertaining sooner or later. However, her mother has been obvious from the very start. It's a relentless no, not even to Wendy before Jennifer was. As ever, a thing, J.Lo and Diddy were the show-stopping title-gracing couple that had Hollywood and HipHop in a lockhold simultaneously. As a matter of fact, for the people who don't know, J.Lo is in a real sense the principal individual to have at any point had a main graphing collection and #1 film industry one film around the same time, and as per late news, it appears to be she's likewise the main ex to have her life and profession going perfectly subsequent to being involved with Diddy current. We should get into the tea. Stand by. When did J.Lo date P. Diddy? Assuming the way that J.Lo and P. Diddy at any point dated is a surprising bit of information to you, then you were likely disconnected in the last part of the 9. However, definitely they were the main model 2 or 3. Objectives in hit bounce raging red floor coverings in their matching fits, causing hits they to appear to have it all. The couple met in 1999 when Diddy, who was then known as Puff Daddy, chipped away at Jennifer Lopez's Assuming You Had My Affection music video. Jennifer was hitched at the time they met, and the couple began as companions and speedy bloomed into something different. Their relationship was extremely entwined with their expert lives at the time, which is something that we've seen endlessly time again. With Diddy and his exes, however, this was on an alternate scale. Despite the fact that Diddy delivered for Joe during their relationship, she was never endorsed to his name, and she had a fast rising profession. So there was not much that Diddy was accomplishing for her vocation, yet she was blissful and in adoration, and that was all that made a difference. And by the day's end, needs nothing from you but to cherish you. Yet Diddy has forever been a magnet for press, and during their relationship it was more terrible press than great. Soon after they began dating in December 1999, the couple were captured after they escaped a New York club where a shooting had occurred. Clearly, no one truly needs to be captured or cuffed, or you realize go through all that sort of stuff. It's a truly horrendous encounter. Police charge Ocean Puffy Hees and Jennifer Lopez with crime firearm ownership. On December 26, 1999, P. Diddy and J.Lo went to a party at Club New York, situated in Manhattan. A few different famous people and expert competitors were in attendance that evening, so you can envision exactly the way it was stuffed. In any case, they were celebrating at the club, and eventually at night a battle broke out close to the bar. The battle raised gunfire both inside and outside the club, as detailed by the Day-to-Day Mail. Diddy had unintentionally caught Matthew Scar Allen making him spill his beverage, a contention followed with a small bunch of money tossed into P. Diddy's face. Not long after, a few shots rang out in the club. The shooting brought about 3 passing and a few wounds. Quickly, J.Lo and Diddy ran away from the area, and they would have moved away, sound aside from they got halted for running a red light, and that was the point at which a firearm was found in the storage compartment of their Lincoln Pilot. The couple was captured close by the Guardian that was with them, and albeit the charges against Jennifer Lopez were dropped not long after, the subtleties around how soon that was remain very disconnected by a first-page title on the New York Everyday News. J.Lo's night in damnation was a sum of 14 hours spent in prison. However, different outlets revealed that her counts were dropped after the Manhattan region chose not to indict her, and that was in the span of an hour of being charged. Whether it was 1 hour or 14 hours, we might very well never know yet. But what we cannot deny is that the shooting and capture were the start of the conclusion for Jennifer and Puff's friendship, and that is when things took a fascinating turn. Out of nowhere, she seemed to be a hoodlum. She wasn't in a difficult situation for everything except that you were unable to move away from the media's inclusion of how she was engaged with the circumstances. J.Lo was leaving a mark on the world. Jennifer Lopez's profession was beginning to top while Diddy was managing firearm ownership charges, so you can envision how much their relationship came up short on the type of serenity. As per J.Lo, the little dog was only similar to an insane He and J.Lo had one of the most popular honorary pathway appearances. Jennifer Lopez captured everyone's attention in an emerald green and blue palm leaf printed versus dress that became one of design history's most famous outfits. The dress has been depicted as opposing the laws of physical science, and the way that J.Lo pulled it off so nonchalantly to the point of creating a ruckus on the planet even to the point where the dress prompted the making of a Google picture search. That is exactly how enormous of a star J.Lo was, and regardless of his endeavors, Diddy could do nothing to stop her sparkle now, assuming that there's anything with which we are familiar. Diddy and his once more past connections are the means by which he engages with individuals who are simply beginning in their vocations, and he evidently plays the job of a guide before purportedly chasing after a close connection that quite often closes horribly and just sinks their profession. Yet J.Lo impacted the world forever by being one of Diddy's just exes to have left the relationship with practically no long-lasting stain on her vocation. She had no children for himself, and she even turned into a symbol by her own doing, as one fan puts it. J.Lo is a Puerto Rican from the BX who figured out how to evade getting thumped up by Diddy and got her own enormous bank in the event that ain't it. What is it? Another person, Puffy, was going through an extremely hazardous stage in his life. J.Lo was shrewd to remain clear from his grieved life. She was having a decent profession and wouldn't maintain that anybody should demolish it for her. She is far beyond her heyday and doing great in different things. And the same with Puffy. The chick is worth $400, so she is as yet fly. She took a troublesome, however entirely sensible, choice to try and invest with the negative effort encompassing Puffy, and she merits acclaim. As indicated by reports from J.Lo's mother and different insiders who knew the subtleties of their relationship, there was a sizable amount of negative energy than J.Lo needed to set up with. She knows now every one of the signs discussing her relationship with P. Diddy. Jennifer Lopez has frequently depicted the time enigmatically and without delving into an excess of subtleties. However, even in the smidgens of data that she shared, fans can nearly see an example. When they originally got together, J.Lo conceded that they didn't especially have the foggiest idea on certain things, yet as per her, they figured out how to foster a fellowship that assisted them with developing into a relationship anyway. Re-emerged cuts from the features of their relationship show that Diddy was a slight bit too possessive, which is something we've caught wind of from his associations with Cassie and Kim Dorman and all the embarrassment and contention encompassing those two. Diddy supposedly loves to control his accomplices and limit them to intense degrees as a matter of fact. Panther Wright and Jean Bargan, two of his previous colleagues and probably the most vocal individuals with regards to Diddy, have independently guaranteed that he cherished having command over her exes. That is the way he works. He has individuals followed. He has individuals watched. He does a wide range of what he's a piece of. So presently we are going where Kim is, and assuming she was with someone, he made it entirely awkward for that individual to be with utilizing the Guardians. What do you mean by that? Like, in the event that we were there, you weren't going to be sitting up there, and he was pushing up on Kim. You wouldn't do anything to him while we were there, or you weren't going to express anything to him while we were there. In a now erased post from a 2010 media source, the media takeout likewise made sense of how the connection between Kim and Diddy worked while she was alive for years. Diddy has essentially been keeping Kim as a kept lady. He takes care of every one of her bills and offers her additional kid support. As a trade-off, he expects her to look the other way with his leaps and not be sincerely engaged with some other man. And he gave those equivalent indications in his relationship with J.Lo. Diddy would make an appearance on her film sets and get some information about the scenes she was shooting just to ensure there was no closeness with her co-star. And once he figured out she had a kissing scene while recording The Wedding Organizer with Matthew McConaughey, he tossed a fetus. I'm blissful you're here. What are you all shooting today? The last goodness, that's up. What's going on with everything's the last thing, sister? The remainder of what ain't no kissing continuing, right? Definitely. He dislikes stuff like that. It better not be no kissing going on. Dislike a kiss, like with tongue? No, dislike a kiss. It's like a somewhat latest possible moment in what we dislike we kiss. I believe it's senseless, kissing scenes because I'm an entertainer, and I realize that this amounts to nothing, and you couldn't care less. And anybody would feel that this was him being an envious sweetheart. However, it wasn't similar to their relationship. It was a walk in the park. As a matter of fact, Diddy was supposedly undermining her during their whole relationship. Diddy had an on and off again thing happening with Kim Porter, and that covered his relationship with J.Lo, and as per Gan Bargan, Diddy's previous guardian Kim wasn't the one in particular that Diddy was going behind J.Lo's back with.